All right, guys. So woke up at 189. Now, when I saw that, I literally bent down and squinted because it was first thing in the morning. I really tried to look at it and see if that was the right reading in my head that I saw. So, big question mark came up, but I look back. I didn't consume that many carbs yesterday, so remember I said weight fluctuates. Um, Honestly though, how it's looking right now, because I'm starting to be in a bulk state. I'm starting to feel more like I'm in a bulk state. So if you guys saw my last video, I said the same thing. Um, how it's looking right now is I don't think I'm going to be raising my calories too much. Maybe two, because like right now, realistically, I'm eating like close to 3,700. So I might raise it another like 100 or 150 in about 4 or 5 days. So we're just gonna see. But right now, how it's looking, I don't think I'm going to, because I don't want to get to the point where I put on an excessive amount of body fat when I don't have to, because then that's just going to require more work on the cut. When I'm cutting, it's going to take a little bit longer, and I'm trying to avoid that. So it's all going to tell in time. I know I go back and forth with thinking if I'm going to raise my calories or not. We're just going to have to wait and see at the end of the day, okay? So I'm going to get right into my leg day because I had legs yesterday. Now, the first thing is, come on, guys, legs. Legs, legs, legs. People don't like working out legs for a reason because it is very uncomfortable and it is very hard, It is very hard to have a good, intense leg day. To be honest, most of the people that I know, honestly, I could truly say every person in my life that I know does not push their legs as hard as they should, because most people that do weightlift and work out legs, they don't push their legs as hard as possible, because legs, to get them to grow, they take an intense amount of effort, a very high amount of effort, because you have to remember your quads and your hamstrings are the biggest muscles in your body. So if you think about it in a way that makes sense, why your legs take the most amount of energy and stamina and fatigue and force to grow. When I first started to work out, about maybe, let's say, 3 or 4 years ago, I don't remember the exact time when this occurred, but I would not do 8 to 12 sets of quads and 8 to 12 sets of hamstrings. I would combine the legs. I would do 8 to 12 with both, with quads and hamstrings, because at that time I didn't really know I should isolate my hamstrings and then I should isolate my quads. I just always thought leg day, just do 8 to 12 sets of pressing, leg extensions, and then some hamstring curls. But then eventually I came to realize that each hamstring and quad have to have their own range of hypertrophy reps to grow. And I came to realize the amount of intensity legs require to grow. So if you guys want to grow your legs, you are going to have to push it a little bit harder, because I know all the people that I'm talking to, I can truly say probably 90% of you guys do not push your legs to maximum intensity. And that is truly the only way you will see growth, unless you're a beginner, because beginners can get away with not going to failure and doing sloppy work, call it light work in the gym. But guys, yesterday was an insane leg day. I think I came to the end of the ego lifting era. Now, I'm not a huge ego lifter. In the beginning of my workouts, I sort of am. I like to lift heavy weight and kind of like show in the gym my status, if that makes sense, and also to myself, because the ego is for myself. I want to prove to myself that I'm getting stronger, and you can't lie. It's cool to lift heavy weight. It looks cool. It feels cool. And yeah, who wouldn't want to bench 2 plates and squat a bunch of plates, So guys, I came to this logic that I feel different body parts require different styles of training. Like for example, my arms, I grew my arms by lifting how I still lift today, by lifting heavy weight to start. I do heavier weight with drop sets, and then as the sets go on, I drop the weight. I do that for every body part though. But I'm saying for certain muscle groups, I believe it's different, because Yesterday, I went a lot lighter in legs. Normally, I like to go heavier, but I went a lot lighter in legs, and I was getting way more volume. I was doing a lot of drop sets and supersets. I'll go into it more when I show you guys all the clips, but all I have to say is so every single time after my leg day, I get sore. I get sore just like this. I get sore where the second day I still feel it, and even the third day I still feel it. But last night and this morning, it was a different kind of soreness. It was a kind of soreness that when I flex the muscle, I was getting a cramp when I was going to flex my quads. And that's usually what happens when after a workout, after you get a good workout, you go to flex and you get a cramp. That's how you know you had a really good workout. And just even the soreness today of like me just walking around and bending down, I could just tell it's a slightly different kind of sore in a very good way, I would say. So just know I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a sports nutritionist, I'm not a sports scientist either. I'm just giving you guys what has worked for me and what I'm currently doing, and also my opinion on things. So I really do believe that certain body parts can have different styles of working out. Normally, in a normal leg day, I would keep the weight pretty heavy and go about 6 to 8 reps, even maybe a little bit less, like 5 to 8 reps sometimes after sets go on. But I think I found my new way to work out legs, and as the time goes on, I will keep updating you guys to let you know how it's feeling and how it's been going. And just because I went lighter does not mean that it was not intense, because I was pushing my legs like I was going crazy still with my legs. I wasn't going at a super lightweight, but I was just going at a lighter weight where I was getting good form, really good form for every single rep. And I was including supersets. I was going from leg extensions to leg press. You guys will see it, and I will talk about it as the clips go on. But maybe some people react differently. Maybe some people will give you the complete opposite advice and say that what works for them is when they go heavier, less volume, rather than more volume, lighter weight. So it just depends on the person. And at the end of the day, the only way you will know is if you truly push your legs to maximum intensity. It's like when you go down for a hack squat or for a pendulum squat, and you don't think you can go back up, you can go back up. It's just your mind. You have to get past that hurdle. I feel that every single person that works out legs has a leg day battle with themselves, and it's just always know when you go down on any kind of squat or pressing and it feels like you can't go up, your body is trying to tell you, I cannot go back up, racket, you could do another one. And then guess what? You could go back down and do another one. And you could go back down and do another one. Because I'm not going to say I take every single set to failure, but I do take about 60 to 70% to failure, because taking legs to failure is completely different than any other body part. And I'm not telling you guys to take all the sets to failure for pressing, but just go harder than you are, because that is the only way you will see growth in your legs. Like, think about it like this. Like, we're walking every single day on our legs, and it's always used to stimulus and movement. So the only way for them to grow is if you really overpower them. And like I said, they're the biggest muscles in your body. So stop being a little baby and let's hit our legs good. Come on. All right, so I'll get into these clips. What I started with was hamstrings, okay? I started going hamstrings before quads. I used to do my quads before hamstrings because my logic is quads are harder. Let's get it out of the way. I need the most energy possible for all the pressing, and I need as much power, whatever. I just started doing hamstrings for one big reason, because it warms up my legs for pressing. And the other reason is actually because after quads, I don't want to do any other working out because I'm so dead and beat from quad pressing. So I might as well have all my energy in me when I get there and do my hamstrings first. Because working out hamstrings, if you guys truly do work out your legs, you know it's absolutely nothing like working out your quads. So that's also another reason why I do my hamstrings first. And also, so when my legs are fully pumped, I can just go do my pump check and I don't have to go back after showing you guys my quads and then do my hamstrings. So yeah, but yesterday I didn't do too many sets of hamstrings. I only did about 5 sets on the seated curls, and I'll show you guys a few clips of them. I just started going heavier in the weight for warm-up, heavier and heavier. This stack was not heavy, so I just ended up doing the whole stack for a few, and then I started doing a few drop sets. My hamstrings, I actually got a nice 5 sets. It was a good hamstring pump. I felt good, and at a certain point, I just felt that I was ready to go into quads. So what I like to do is I like to go on more hamstring bias days and then more quad bias days for my leg days. So like last week, for example, I did 12 sets of hamstrings and I did about 8 to 10 sets of quads. But this leg day that you guys are about to see, I only did 5 sets of hamstrings and I did about 12, 13 sets of quads. That means next leg day will be more hamstring focused, all right? So once my hamstrings were done, I went on to leg extensions. That is always how I start my quads because it warms up my knees and it just gets me ready for pressing. Okay, I don't go crazy and sit there for like 4 sets to absolutely failure to, you know what I mean? But I do 2 intense sets, like very intense sets. And then once I feel that I've had enough leg extensions and I'm ready to go into pressing, that's what I do. But sometimes it might require 3 sets or maybe 1 set. It just all depends on the day and how my knees are feeling. That's most important. And then also with squatting, I don't just jump right into my weight. I go from a little bit of weight to heavier. And unfortunately, in these pendulum squat clips, I did not record the heaviest weight that I went. I did not go much heavier. I went a little bit heavier than what you guys are seeing, but this was still a real set I was doing here. I was taking this one to like, this one I can say I took it to failure because at one point I wasn't able to go up and then I had to kind of like force myself up real quick to rack it. And yeah, but I do take pressing to failure too because like I said, it's not like every other muscle. So I don't always go to failure, okay? But I ended up staying at the pendulum squat for 3 sets. Now, when I went to my heavier sets, that's when I did a drop set because I was only able to get 4 or 5, and then I just lowered the weight and I just finished it off with about 4 or 5 more. Now, guys, these sets, my legs were really starting to get cooked because I was going not heavy, but very good form, nice and slow, all the way down, all the way up, really squeezing at the top, and it was just overall beautiful. So after that, I went into leg press. Oh, also on the pendulum squat, notice where I keep my feet very close together, low to the plate, same exact thing for leg press, same thing for all kind of squats and pressing, but with the leg press, I warmed up into it. I did a plate, did another plate, and then I didn't go heavy. I just went 3 plates, really good form. So this was my first working set for leg press. I think I got like 12 reps, okay? And then I came to a logic. Let me switch it up right here. Let me throw in a nice superset, a nice quad burner. I really wanted to just burn out my quads to the most that I could. Honestly, I can say this leg workout out of 100, can I be honest with you guys? I'm going to give it a 94, okay? So what I did was I started supersetting leg extensions with leg press. Right away, I would go from leg extension, go right to the leg press, not heavy at all, nice lightweight for the leg press. But after I would fail at the leg extension, I would go to failure. I would just go right to the leg press and go nice feet placement all the way down to the bottom and straight up. Absolutely beautiful, guys. When I started to feel that serious burn in the leg press, that was like the 8th rep probably. That's when it's the money reps. That's when you're supposed to, okay, now it's time to go. That's when growth happens, when your legs when any muscle group is towards the end of the set and your muscles do not want to go anymore, but they really still can. That's when those money reps come in, and that's when growth will happen. And that's when the muscle fibers are really breaking down, and then growth will happen once afterwards, okay? So Yeah, so guys, I did these back and forth leg extension with leg press superset style for, I want to say, 5 sets. I was going crazy with these. I was really going crazy. And at a certain point, I was like, I just can't do anymore. I just wanted to push as hard as I did in a long time in a different way for my quads. And I had a good amount of food in me. But once I was done with pressing, I called it eventually. And then I just went right into leg extensions, went right into single leg extensions, one leg at a time. I was doing my nice 5x5s to finish it. I only stayed there for 2 sets, but I would go superset it with sissy squats. Guys, I was only able to get like 4 or 5 sissy squats for the first set of me trying to superset leg extensions with sissy squats. After the first set, I even tried it again with the second set for the sissy squats, and I couldn't even get one. So that's how I especially knew that my legs were absolutely done. And then I went in to show you guys my pump. Now the only thing is with leg pumps, I don't really know how to do other poses. I'm trying to learn as it goes on, as time goes on, by watching videos, watching different things. But yeah, that's just gonna also get better when I hire my posing coach. So but that is a good look in the future. We still have a lot more work to do on growing and getting bigger. So my legs are looking good. I showed you guys a side stance as well. And then after that, I just finished it off with some nice crunches. And I did about 6 sets there, and then I called it a day. I also had to do my cardio yesterday. Now, guys, I don't know if it was something that I ate or if it was, like, for some reason the pre-workout. But I had to go to the bathroom, like, 4 or 5 times during this whole gym session, during the leg workout, and even during the cardio. And now I'm thinking about it, it could also be from like the amount of volume I was doing for legs, because I was doing very, very much volume. But overall, like I said, absolutely beautiful leg day. I wish you guys could somehow enter my body and, well, that sounded crazy, but I wish you, all right, I'll say it like this. I wish you guys could somehow feel what I'm feeling right now on my legs, and you will see what I mean. All right, so guys, let's make a commitment. Every single leg day that we have going forward, let's make it the most intense leg day that we have ever seen. So that means as time goes on, our leg sessions will get more brutal and more brutal and more brutal. And say if we're not feeling strong that day, no problem. Let's just lower the weight and go very high volume and keep the intensity high, all right? Because I'm telling you right now, that is the only way we are going to see growth, is if we push our legs to the maximum intensity, more than any other muscle group in our body. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be that guy that doesn't have big legs and has big shoulders, big chest, big arms, big back. I want to have a proportionate body, and also I think having nice legs looks good too. So 189, that sounded really weird to say because I've been like 192 for like almost 10 days, I would say, maybe 8 days, something like that. But it was just what I ate, and yeah, but we're just gonna have to see how much longer this 3,600 calorie mark, even though I'm eating a little bit over that, is going to go on. All right, we're gonna wait and see. I'll see you guys in the next one.